Oh, Salakia. Look at this. Um, Shalom, all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahshai, Bashim Kakadash. Double honors to the elder apostle, Great Millstone. Citation, you are teacher of truth and sincerity. This is going to be called, the whole heaven shall be given to the saints of the Most High. So this is Daniel 7:18. It says, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom, and possess the kingdom, forever, even forever and ever. So the saints of the Most High, which are the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, especially the elected nation Israel, we're going to possess the entire earth and the galaxies that are, in the heavens, different planets out there in the heavens. We're going to possess those too, because we're going to rule on the earth, but the earth is going to become too crowded for us, so we're gonna have to go to those planets in the sky, those different planets out there in those in the heavens. We're gonna have to go and populate those places. Those different mansions in the sky. I'm gonna go to verse 27. It says, "And the kingdom and dominion, the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is the everlasting kingdom, and all the dominion shall serve and obey him." And Yahweh Shai, he's going to come back and receive his glory on the earth, and he's going to, the election and Israel going to be joint heirs with him, and they're going to rule the earth with Yahweh Shai as the head king of all Israel. And we're going to, what's the word, be the next government of the earth, the righteous rulers of the earth, governing the earth, from the headquarters of Israel. And like I understand and know, we're gonna go and populate those different mansions and worlds on those planets out there in the universe, in the heavens. There's gonna be life on Mars. There's gonna be life on Jupiter. There's gonna be life on Venus, Mercury. All those different planets out there are gonna be made to be inhabited by the Israelites and nobody else. Only for Israel to inhabit those places. Um, and that's the future of the world to come. The righteous world to come. Because, like it says in scripture, Esau's the end of the world, Jacob's the beginning of which that followed. It's gonna be an end of this wicked age, and it's gonna be the age of a righteous age, where, the future where the righteous rulers who are the Israelites are gonna be governing the earth in righteousness, and we're gonna be able to travel to those different planets in our immortal bodies. In those, because we can't enter those chariots in these corruptible bodies. This is Isaiah 14 verse 1. Isaiah 14 verse 1 says, Isaiah 14 verse 1 says, "For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land, and the stranger shall be drawn with them, and they shall cleave the house of Jacob." And, Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, he's going to have mercy on Jacob. And those strangers, that's the Israelites, the Israelite foreigners that may look like the heathen nations. They're going to come back to their heritage, be changed into an immortal body. Because they'll be brought back to their heritage. Verse 2, "And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives who captives they were, and they shall rule their oppressors. So all you heathens that took us and brought us in captivity, um, had a hand in our downfall, you're gonna go into captivity, and become our handmaids and servants. We're gonna what's the word? Take your riches, and your riches will become our riches. Your possessions will become our possessions, because they're our possessions anyway. Your riches are our riches anyway. You stole our riches. You stole our possessions. You know, everything that's yours is supposed to be ours anyway. So it's gonna be given back to us 100 times, 100-fold. You know, because we, you know, I'm gonna go to John, St. John, chapter 14 and verse 1. This is St. John chapter 14, verse 1. It says, uh, let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in God, also believe in me. In my Father's house are many mansions, and those many planets out in the those innumerable planets out in the heavens. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. Um, if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also. So we're gonna go into the heavens, you know, because the earth is gonna become, you know, too much. You know, there's gonna be so many Israelites on the earth. We're gonna have to go to those mansions in the sky to populate those, and to create um, you know, servants in a world on there, because this world specifically this earth was created for our sakes, because the earth is a paradise. It's, you know, I believe the earth was originally made to be a paradise. You know, I'm gonna go to Second Ezra 6:55. Um, this Second Ezra 6:55, it says, "All this have I spoken um, before thee, O Lord, because thou hast made the world for our sakes." Because this world was made for the Israelites' sakes, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans' sake, the children of God's sake. It wasn't made for you heathens to rule. You know, even though you're in the ruler's seat now, but that's temporal. Sooner or later, you're going to be taken down, and the Israelites are going to be put in the rightful, you know, rulership seat, and we're going to rule in righteousness. Verse 56. As for the other people which also come of Adam, thou said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and have likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. So you heathens are nothing to the Most High. You're like a drop of water that falls to the ground. You know, that you're like spittle. You know, spit that falls to the ground. You're not gonna wipe up. You're not gonna try to wipe up that spit and cup it in your hand after you just put it on the ground. You know, that's how much the Most High cares about you heathens. You know, you're nothing to him. It says, "And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen which have ever been reputed as nothing have begun to be lords over us and to devour us." It says, but we, thy people, who thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, thy fervent lover, are given into their hands. It says, if the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure? Because this is only temporal. You know, right now we're in captivity. We're under our enemies. You know, what's the word? We're under our enemies' thumb. You know, but that's sooner or later that's going to be. They have only a short time to for their rulership to continue. You know, he only has a short time to enact his plan, and sooner or later, Yahushua is going to show up, demolish their governments, and bring them down and put them into captivity. You know, having his men, the hopeful elect, when hopefully if I'm part of that number, when the hopeful elect come off those chariots, they're gonna enslave all these heathens, and what's the word? Um, those, you know, um, and set up, the government of the earth, set up the kingdom of heaven on earth, um, because because this is not going to endure long. We're very close to the kingdom being established, very close to Yahushua's return. You know, Esau only, has a few more things to do before, everything really pops off. I'm going to Micah right quick. Micah 4, verse 1. It's Micah 4 and verse 1 says, "But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mount of the house of the Lord shall be established on the top of the mountains." So the mountains represents governments. So the mountain of the Lord, the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established at the top of the mountains. So these governments going to be brought down. So the government that's going to be on top is the Israelites in rulership. It says, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow unto it. So all these heathens are going to flow unto us to learn the ways of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, on how to operate under our government in the future, because the law, statutes, and commandments is going to be the standard of the earth. Because we're going to already have the law, statutes, and commandments written in our inner parts, but these heathens are going to be mortal, so they're going to have to abide by the law, statutes, and commandments that are written in the scriptures. And many nations shall come and say, "Come and let us go to the mountain of Yahweh, to the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua from Jerusalem, and he shall judge among many people and rebuke strong nations afar off. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nations shall not lift up a sword against nations, and neither shall they learn warring more." And if the true people of the Lord were in the land of Israel today, there'd be no war anymore. There'd be peace on earth. That's how you know those small heads, the ones that, the Ish people, they they're not the true people of the Lord, because this is not happening, and Yahushua would be in the land. Yahushua's not with them, so he's definitely not the true people of the Lord. Those red pesh, Slocky, my tongue is tingling. Those red pale flesh gutter rats with small hats, and these nations are gonna beat their weapons into you know pruning hooks and plowshares. They're gonna become farmers. They're gonna work the fields, because they're gonna dress our vineyards, and they're gonna do a lot of hard labor. There's gonna be continuing employment in our kingdom, because they're gonna go into captives under us. 3 verse 4, but they shall sit every man under his vine and his fig tree, and none shall make them afraid, for the mouth of the Lord, mouth of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua hosts have spoken it. Because this is going to happen in the future. All these seasons go in captivity under Israel, and we're going to rule in righteousness. Proverbs, because when the righteous are in authority, it's Proverbs 29 verse 2. Says, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn." Because the wicked are in rulership, everything's in mourning. Nature's in mourning, animals are in mourning, the people are in mourning. When the righteous are in rulership, everybody's going to be happy. The nature's going to be happy. Animals are going to be happy, and the heathens are going to be cool. because even though we're gonna be beating them, giving them the righteous beat down when we need to give them a righteous beat down when we feel like it, they still gonna be happy that we're in rulership because they could live somewhat of a good life, you know, even though they're in captivity and serving us, you know. Um, I'm gonna go to Jeremiah 30 verse 11. Uh, Jeremiah 30 verse 11 says, "For I am with thee, saith Yahweh, to save thee, though I will make a full end of all nations, whether I have scattered thee, yet will I not make a full end of thee, but I will correct thee in measure and will not leave thee altogether unpunished." So he's not going to make a full end of the nation of Israel. He's going to multiply us and have us live, for more, forever. While these nations are going to, they're going to be mortal. They're going to grow old and die, being reincarnated forever and ever. While the nation of Israel stays young forever and be around forever when in the future. I'm going to Wisdom of Solomon 3 verse 8. So Wisdom of Solomon 3 verse 8 says, "They shall judge the nations and have dominion over the people, and their Lord shall reign forever." So we're going to be a nation that lives forever, immortal forever. We're going to have Yahushua there on the throne forever, and the nation of Israel is going to be a nation that lives forever. And we're going to rule this earth. Everything on earth, we're going to have opportunity to enjoy. Even the galaxies, the other planets, we're going to be able to enjoy those too. Be able to travel to those different planets in our new body. So I made it right. I'm going to say all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahshua, Bashim Kakadash, double honors to the Apostle Craig Millstone, Sat Chase you, teach all true sincerity.